Psych. We are a fledgling vlogging couple. We're doing this with our Kodak camera. And we don't want to waste any film. So have mercy on us.
He doesn't even let me take it to Photomat to be processed.
We do it ourselves.
Yeah.
In the basement.
That's how I spend my evenings. I'm in the basement developing all of this film.
Yeah.
It is Independence Weekend in Provincetown. And so that means that it was really the first multi-day event. It's now Saturday, and all the checkouts happen tomorrow. We go from being completely filled to everybody just kind of leaving and abandoning us. The town was packed for Independence Weekend. Right, still is. The weather for the 4th was great. The weather, though, after that was not great. It was cloudy all day yesterday. I was very concerned about the boys in town and what they were going to do, but I bet they found something to do.
Well, we didn't want them getting in trouble.
No.
So we were worried.
Yes.
The town is full of boys because this used to be part of the circuit. Y'all remember, boys, what circuit parties were. And this was on the, P-Town was on the circuit. So circuit parties kind of died out. I don't remember, was it because of HIV or? Just... No. Circuit parties were after that. Circuit parties were actually kind of an extension of the rave culture from the old, in the 90s and early 2000s. For those of you who don't know what a circuit party is, it is a large party that gay men hold, and they bring in big name DJs, and they do them at large venues all over the world. And this got to be known as the circuit because you would go to a different country or a different location on weekends, and you would go to a different circuit party. And then the next weekend it would be in another place. And there were people who were on the circuit, which meant that they would follow these dance parties everywhere. And they were huge and often very drug fueled. And I was never a circuit boy. That was for the pretty boys. I was never a pretty boy. And I never went to when I was younger, I never went to the gym that much. I shouldn't say that. I did go to the gym a lot when I was younger, but I never had the body or the looks to be on the circuit. It's died out a little bit. The circuit scene isn't what it once was, I don't think, but it is still big enough that they call it Circuit Weekend here. So, or Twink Week. That's what the townies call it.
Or Twink Week.
They're younger guys that are thin, maybe a little bit muscular, generally good looking. That's a twink.
I think some guys are twinks for a very short period of time.
I had 5 minutes.
And there are other guys who are able to pull it off all through their 20s. By the time you get into your 30s, it's starting to get harder to pull it off.
Then you turn into a twunk.
That's also a term. That's a newer term, twunk.
Yeah, it's a little bit beefier, twink. And then an otter?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you turn into an otter.
And then you start getting into the whole bear categories.
That's a different
A bear is a large man, and Bear Week is coming up. And
2 weeks?
Yeah, so there is a progression here, folks. And what I noticed is that a lot of the guys here this week have been more twunk than twink.
So they will be otters.
They
bear.
They are sliding into beardom. Many of them.
They're not on the Mediterranean diet.
They are not, and we are.
Yes, thus our hourglass figures.
We might actually qualify as twinks again eventually.
Twunk. Huh?
You'll only get the twunk? I'm going for twink. I'm going for twink.
I would hope for bear. Just kidding.
But you're hoping for bear?
Yeah.
So that is the classic kind of stereotypical gay man who comes to Provincetown for Independence Week. It's really a mix of everybody. And what I think people really miss is how family oriented it is. If you go to the Provincetown 4th of July parade, you will see that it's just a small town parade. What I love about it is that you've got the fire department and the Department of Public Works in the parade, and then you've got 2 drag queens in a car waving to everybody and throwing out candy. You've got our town, our Board of Select in a vehicle, and they're gay and straight and everything else. Provincetown is just so damn good at everybody being able to live together, and nobody bats an eye. If there are drag queens following the police department in Provincetown in a parade, nobody bats an eye, and everybody gets applauded and everybody is valued. And that's what makes Provincetown so unique. Why? I don't know why the rest of the world can't do that. I don't. So I don't, you know what? The rest of the world can't do that. I don't care. We live somewhere where it can. So I hope wherever you live that they can do it too.
Which brings up a funny story. We have a friend who's a drag queen. This is a few years back, and he was a little tipsy, and he's in one of the older bars here, and it happened to be mostly fishermen, but it doesn't matter. You can go into any bar, anything. Anyway, he was in drag, and he had the top of his dress down. He had prosthetic breasts on, and somebody drunk called the police.
Somebody clearly not from this town, a tourist, called the police.
And they went in and rolled
and said, well, they called the police and said there is a woman exposing herself at this bar.
And meanwhile, everybody at the bar didn't do a thing. Everybody's whatever. And the police came, and it was our friend, and they said, oh, crying out loud. And they just walked out.
There was no woman exposing herself. No. There was just a drunk drag queen. And by the way, that happened at the straightest bar in town.
Yeah.
That's Provincetown for you.
Yeah. So, also of that same bar, we were sitting one time, just having a beer. It was in the middle of the day. And somebody walked in with their fishing regalia on, the big tall boots and all that kind of stuff, and a huge aluminum pan, dragging it with him. It was just full of clams and pasta. And he throws it up on one of the tables and a bunch of paper plates and forks, plastic forks, and fed everybody. That was his, that was part of his catch for the day. That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I felt like I was such a member of the community that day, I think you'll never see anything like July 4th in Provincetown.
And it's not one of those weeks that, do we book up early for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to do it, think about it now and, and start looking at the lodging options, because I guess Cory does front of the house. I don't really necessarily know what books up. I know what books up, but I didn't know this one booked up so fast.
If you wanted to come to Provincetown for July 4th, you probably need to book it by April.
Yeah. And remember, if you've never been here, you don't need a car. The town is only 3 miles long, and what you're going to use of that town is probably a mile long. So just pick a guest house or whatever you do, Airbnb, whatever you're going to do, that's centrally located. You're not going to want to be trudging across Bradford Street too far. You want to stay, off Central. Or not Central, Center, Commercial. You want to stay off Commercial.
Okay, think just for a second. Is there anything else that we need to talk about the 4th of July?
No, but the sun's coming out again, which is great. Usually you can depend on really good weather. All right, it's the Cape. We're 23 miles out in the ocean, so you're going to have a little haze, a little heat, a little humidity. That's Cape Cod. But you can generally get pretty good weather, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of eye candy.
That's that's John on the front porch. He needs me.
I need you too. Where do I get one of those?
Goodbye. We are walking down Commercial Street. It's still busy. I heard, and I believe it, that the town was absolutely packed, like shoulder to shoulder, walking down Commercial Street last night. And I get it, because it's pretty packed this afternoon, too.
Harbor Lounge. Harbor Lounge.
Wish it was sunny. Oh, believe me, this won't be the last time we come here this summer.
For years, there used to be a red dory out there that everyone painted, and it was just beautiful in the sunset. I don't. The color of they painted the dory it's just accentuated by the sunsets. And there was a lot of artists that painted it in town. And then the guy died, and they kept it for another year or two. Somebody kept up the maintenance on it and stuff, and just one year it just disappeared. It used to be out there, probably where that blue hull boat is. It's missed. And one time we were here, and right there at the end of this pier was a starfish. It was really weird. It was about this big around, and its arms or legs or whatever were only like that. And there must have been, I don't know how many, but there was just boop, 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 right after each other. And it died, but it was interesting to see. I never saw a starfish like that.
Look, it's Nina Ann.
Hey guys! Hi Scott!
Nina!
Nina!
Clink
I
again.
just don't have honey, so I'm going to use Jack honey.
It's Sunday, and we had a massive number of checkouts today. Kurt is in the shower right now. I'm next. Our friend Trevor has come to spend the night. Trevor used to live in Provincetown. Now he lives in Providence. Provincetown and Providence are not the same places. It's Providence, Rhode Island, and Provincetown, Massachusetts. Many people will call either of them Provincetown, which is kind of funny. Provincetown. There's no such place as Provincetown. But anyway, Trevor has come to visit us for the evening, and we're going to go out to dinner, and we're going to walk around and maybe get into a little bit of trouble. I'm really looking forward to today and this evening with our friend.
Which one is it?
4.
Hello, Trevor. How are you?
I love what you did with
I got to
your
do
hair.
my hair. Yeah.
I did have to put clothes on.
What's that air conditioner set at? Do we need all these lights on?
66.
Does this leave a stain? All right, I'm gonna do my hair. Are you about ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Okay. Huh?
Look around her. It's not fancy here.
No, they got it all. I ain't fancy. Corona. Thanks, Dory. Thank you.
All right, let's do it.
I can't tell somebody in drag and out of drag.
Oh, you can't?
Not in the least.
Just so you know.
changing Star Wars. It's wonderful.
We do that before every sip. It takes a long time.
That's how I was created.
Put something in your mouth. Okay, we're vlogging. We're vlogging. Say hi, Trevor.
Say hi, Cory. Would you ever guess he came from Cory's loins?
Not with these three chins. I'd lick that and smoke it like a rip.
How are you? Good girls' night out tonight.
How's mom and dad?